Ambedkar's idea of democracy and citizenship. In this unit we will discuss the meaning of citizenship, Ambedkar's idea of citizenship, individual, society, state, and democracy. Citizenship is a status given to the residents of a society as its members. The term is derived from the Latin word civitas, meaning city, since the ancient Romans associated themselves with their city-states. Only citizens were allowed to participate in governmental activities such as voting, making legal contracts, and standing for public offices. Women, slaves, freedmen, and client states were not given the status of citizens, so citizenship was restrictive in nature. In modern demo.racies, the meaning of citizenship expanded to become a legal status given to an individual by the constitution of the state. With modernity, citizenship was not limited to territorial connotations only but had political, cultural and social connotations as well. The term citizenship gradually developed in the West, passing from one phase to another and expanding its meaning in the process. In 18th century Britain, when the capitalist political system was protecting property and civil liberties of the individual, citizenship had civil connotations where citizens enjoyed right to speech, property and faith. In the 19th century, with the granting of adult franchise to the middle class in Britain, citizenship became political, with the citizens enjoying the right to participate in political procedures and become members of a political party. In the 20th century, according to Katz, social citizenship grew where citizens enjoyed wide range of rights ranging from economic welfare to the protection of social heritage. The state was transformed into a welfare state to look after its citizens. India and citizenship. The concept of citizenship in India was imported from the West by the European powers. Prior to the advent of the British, India had community based on kinship. Modernity and colonialism together acted on India's past and ushered in a new future. According to Nicholas Dirks, the British crystallized the identities for proper functioning of the administration. They brought the idea of recognition and stratification. They identified the issues of caste and religion with their understanding of fluid identity and recognition through multiple ideas of governance. It has been argued by some historians that the census created caste. The British created a system that was distinct and created a new space where individuals could not escape their community. The community and the modern concept of democracy shaped the concept of citizenship in India. Since citizenship has been tailored externally on the Indian society, we need to understand the concept of citizenship so as to capture the intricacies of state-led changes in society and focus upon the nature and conditions of political membership as a source of social integration in the context of changing state-market relations. 3. It is important to understand citizenship as modernity recognized the fragments in the society but failed to propose its eradication. Indian society had always been holistic in nature and an individual was not much emphasized upon. In his famous essay Castes in India, The Genesis, Mechanism and Development, Ambedkar highlighted how the Indian society was fragmented on the basis of patriarchy, caste, class and religion. He felt that India was not a nation as he opined that a population divided into 3,000 castes could not ignore mutual suspicion and jealousy. Nation is an idea that is built on shared emotions and agonies of its citizens. Meaning of citizenship. The term citizenship has been interpreted in various ways by different thinkers during its historical development. Plato's polis was based upon the citizenship that was discriminatory and unequal in nature. It excluded the women, slaves and foreigners from the umbrella of citizenship. There was no distinction between the public and the private life of the citizens. Romans, on the other hand, expanded the concept of citizenship from the status of political equality to the judicial safeguard that is provision of equality under the law. During Renaissance the kings demised and gradually with the rise in republicanism citizenship became the relationship between an individual and the state. The citizens no more submitted to the kings and lords. Gradually in the modern times citizenship became the membership in the political body that not only limited itself to the political sphere, but also spread its influence over the social sphere by giving equal status and equal opportunities in the society. right to citizenship is protected by law. The state not only provides with the fundamental rights, but also the fundamental duties. Thus, it became a mixed bundle of rights and duties. Thinkers like Turner V understood citizenship under the realm of public, private, and active-passive. Gunsterand and Lega VI viewed citizenship in the light of historical participants and refused to bind the description of the term in a fixed understanding. As per the liberalist and the civic republicanism, citizenship was the confluence of rights and political obligations. It prioritized the citizens over the larger interests of the community. Marshall VII enhanced this theory of citizenship by integrating social, political, and civil obligations. This gave rise to two types of rights: the reproductive rights that assimilated the tripartite of civil, social, and political rights, the right to participate in decision-making processes. Ambedkar was highly influenced by the confluence of the liberalist civic republicanism so as to understand the concept of citizenship in the Indian context. From the liberalist individual approach, he tried to imbibe the right to human dignity for all sans discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, color, or sex. It became the obligation of the state to protect the interests of the autonomous individuals. On the other hand, from the civic republican approach, he imbibed a healthy relationship between a republican state and the free individuals. Individual, society, and state. Ambedkar's perspective. Ambedkar's concept of citizenship percolated down to the individual. His individual was never atomistic and isolated in nature, but was embedded in the social. A man by birth was categorized under a group caste in the society. The predestined castes gave away class privileges. The system was never based on choice. This excluded the Dalits from the rest of the castes: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. The Dalits were exploited, dominated, and excluded from the mainstream society. According to Partha Chatterjee, Ambedkar emphasized upon not only the relationship between the individuals, but also the relationship between an individual and society. For him, society was a product of the associations of the individuals. Society was the horizon, while the individuals had the capacity of creating a societal environment that could protect the civil, political, and social rights. Thus, Ambedkar was between liberalism and communitarianism. Gayatri Spivak opined that Ambedkar used the term endosmosis as a grounding concept to learn about the individual and group. She said that society is the relation between two groups. Chatterjee opined that Ambedkar lived in two different time zones, modernity and caste system. He had a universalistic as well as particularistic approach to mark the membership of the community. Thus, Ambedkar used the idea of human institution to understand a society within and beyond. Ambedkar, as a part of the drafting committee of the Indian Constitution, intended to safeguard the rights of every Indian, including the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, women, and members of the religious minorities. He believed that a society with deep fissures of caste inequality was not open to changes. It was vulnerable and could succumb to instability. Rabindranath Tagore too gave priority to the society over state as it aided in the human development. Tagore believed that society is an end in itself where people lived in cooperation, while state on the other hand was a product of commerce and politics that suppressed the natural human instincts of living with harmony and peace. Ranade, Gandhi and Jinnah marked a difference between the social and the political. Unlike other modern Indian political thinkers, Ambedkar talked of reform from social to political to ensure the recognition of citizenship in true sense. Society was basic, but the state was a necessary institution. Unlike Gandhi, who held an anarchic approach to the state, or Hobbes and Hegel, who held an absolutist view to the state, Ambedkar found state as a means for the good of the individual. He was a liberal democrat. Unlike Tagore, who dismissed the political, Ambedkar had faith in the political. He believed that state is a pragmatic idea of power. The constitution must fulfill the needs of the people. Influenced by the French Revolution, Ambedkar stressed on the reconstruction of the social and the political based on democratic socialism. He envisioned a government that was dedicated to the consolidation of social, political, and economic justice within the framework of liberty, equality, and fraternity. He found democracy as the best form of government that could entail rights of its citizens in the best possible way. He believed that only the political can aid in the progress of the society,